Right, John, thanks very much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we made it. We almost never made this.
I'm blaming the sat nav. I'm going to keep blaming the sat nav for that.
You have got the record for the first person that managed to completely find the wrong location. So well done. Congratulations on it. And so far away as well.
There we go. I know. That was bad.
No, I just appreciate you coming down here and doing this. I've been looking forward to this one. You know, I've not had anybody on from like a bodybuilding background, and I know, you know, through my life in terms of training, there's so much that goes into bodybuilding, and a lot of things that people just don't think about. And so I think it's going to be good to go through some of that stuff, and you know, some of the misconceptions around it and the challenges it comes with, kind of leading up to the show and after.
Yep.
So if it's okay, are you okay to go into a bit of how you got into just general fitness anyway in first place?
Yeah. So I was how can we say it? I was a cuddly kid.
Yeah.
slightly chunky kid, and I just remember being constantly like unhappy with how I looked. And like my older brother he's like 6'5", jacked, shredded abs, and I used to think I want to look like that. And we walked past the gym. I was 15 at the time, and I wanted to go to the gym, but you had to have a debit card, and so I couldn't, because I couldn't have a direct debit. So we walked past this gym called No Limits, and we went in there, spit and sawdust gym, loved it. And George was like, yeah, you can train here. And I was like, sweet. And like, I'll never forget, all my boys were like trying all the different machines, and I was waffling to George like, oh, I want to be a basketball player. So he put me for a tricep workout, and I remember for like days, my tries were killing, but I wasn't very good at sport. I played a bit of football when I was younger, but I wasn't really a sporty kid. Like I wasn't. So finding the gym was kind of like my thing. And not many people did it either, so I kind of was like, well, I like this because you lot aren't committed like I am to this thing. Everyone can play football, but no one's really doing this. So I just fell in love with training, because even though I was obviously still unhappy with how I was, I knew I was doing something to make myself feel better.
Definitely. How fast did you start to see some changes once you got in there? I
mean, I thought I made changes after a week.
Yeah,
I look some of the photos I've taken, I'm like, I was not making progress like I thought, but I did. I was on it. I was like training every day, you know, because I just loved going there. I'd get a little bit of pocket money, and I would spend that on like protein bars and stuff. And I just loved it.
I think it's something about that age. How old are you now?
32.
Yeah, so I'm 34. I started training when I was 15 as well, and it was like one of those. We were going to PE to do like badminton or something, and the court was closed. Right. So like we didn't know what to do with it, so throw them in the gym. It was like the first time. Nice. I got in there and stuff, and I was like, this feels all right. Yeah. So then obviously when everybody else kind of like goes, this gym is only over the road to me. Yeah. So then I'm back in there the next day.
Love that.
And I know what you mean. I think around that time, it's not like it is now. I feel like, you know, back then not everyone was training. No.
There was no Instagram or anything like that. Like, that sounds really archaic to say that, but there was no social media. It was just me and the meatheads that were in there, which, again, you go in there, I used to get all kinds of advice from people, and I got 1,010 funny gym stories and stuff, but like, I just enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? And it was like being around these big jack dudes, I liked it, because I was like, right, I want to be like you. Oh, yeah. Help me. And then you get some interesting advice from people in there.
Oh, when you look back at those sessions though, back in the day, there's some of probably like the most mental training sessions you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, mate, I'll tell you, one of the guys, he saw me doing a T-bar row, and he come over and he's like, you don't need to do that. All you need is pull-ups and deadlifts. He made me go back to back, pull-up, deadlift, to the point, he'd finished his workout and he just took it upon himself while he's having a shake to interrupt mine. Yeah, mate, I was ruined. And then I waited for him to go. I found out what time he trains, and I went at a different time, because I just didn't want to be interrupted again.
Not that again.
I could never do that now. I probably could, but you wouldn't train like that now.
No, you wouldn't.
Do you know what I mean?
No. But they're the ones they're definitely the sessions you remember for life.
100%. I'll never forget. He's like, right, off that, back onto the pull-ups. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't. Oh, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
What kind of got you into the next stage then, which was kind of more around like the bodybuilding? Where did you get into that?
I think because I've been doing it for so long, I was so committed, so dedicated, like loved it. I kind of wanted to, and then a lot more people were into fitness. You know, a lot more people were getting into the gym, and I wanted to take it to that next step. Like, all right, cool. I'm not in a big-headed way, but like I'm slightly bigger than most of the typical gym bros that are around. I've been doing it a bit longer. Let me see where I can go. So a good friend of mine, Mike, was like, train with me. I loved it. He was an ex-rugby player. Yeah. Tank. Like one of the only guys that's made me sick while I've trained. Yeah. We was getting ready for a UK BFF show. Okay. But I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything. I literally didn't know anything. So I was just following his guidance of the show itself. Training I did myself. I didn't do any cardio. I wouldn't even eat like diet properly, like to what you should.
Yeah.
Turned up on show day. I looked good for a gym bro.
Yeah.
And I remember this unit walking past, and I thought, well, at least I'm not against him. And then he was like, yeah, I'm in the juniors today. I was like, bro, you're not a junior. You're not. But he was, and he won. So then I was like, right, I don't want to do this competing stuff, because I'd always said I never even wanted to do it. Like there was a picture of Dorian in the gym, and I was like, I never want to look like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I don't know, the more I just saw myself developing, I was like, I could actually do this. And then my friend said, why don't you compete in the natural feds?
Yeah.
Because the show I did was an untested show.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, okay, well, I didn't know natural feds existed. So again, went to a natural show, still didn't really know what I was doing properly. Competed there, didn't do very well, but enjoyed the process of it. Then was like, right, I'm not doing it again. Like, I'm clearly not made for this. But then I got a coach in 2015, a guy from Australia, and he was like, you've got so much potential. Do you want me to coach you? So I said, okay. So did it properly with a coach, went to the show, came second, qualified for the British finals.
Nice.
But it taught me, like, there's levels to this. You know, what I thought I knew or didn't know was like a lot. Do you know what I mean?
What was the biggest differences then from when you was doing it yourself to when you got this coach?
I think the objective eye, call it ego or whatever, you kind of think, because I was like always the guy in shape in the gym, people tell you look good, you kind of think, I'm but no, competing, like, you might stand out from your gym, but you stand on stage, you're just another number. There's more people like you. The structure of the diet, how important nutrition is, like bodybuilding is 24/7. You know, like with sports like football, for example, you might go out on the Raz one night, wake up hungover, but you can still go and play a good game. With bodybuilding, if you do something like that, you can eat too many carbs and spoil your look. Like, there's such an art to it.
Yeah, that's it. I've always wondered that with that. So, like, how much to the detail is it? So, like, the day before, you know, like the day or the week of competition, what does that look like?
It's an interesting one. So it varies really and truly. That they call that peak week. So your peak week, it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't be any, people think that's the magic week, it's going to change everything. Like, people think, oh, I'm all of a sudden going to get shredded. Well, if you're not already in shape, peak week ain't going to get you in shape. Like, there are obviously things you can do, protocols like water loading and stuff, but it's not necessarily needed. Really and truly, you should, throughout your prep, create the look, and then you're just recreating that on your show day. You know, so like a guy that I've prepped, for example, that he was on in the afternoon, that's perfect. He usually trains in the afternoon. So I would look at how he looks and say, we want that on stage. So what have you eaten today? What have you done? And you kind of create it around that. So you can make a lot of changes. My coach had me water loading, like I was doing 12 litres of water for like 4 days. Then it dropped to 6, then 3, then none. Sips. So like, you can do different things to manipulate the look, but it's, a lot, I feel like a lot gets given to peak week that doesn't necessarily, it's not the magic week.
Yeah, that's it. The work's done beforehand, and you've got to be ready.
100%.
You've got to be ready. How did it feel when you won your first competition?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like, so I had that show where I came second, and then I gave up competing for a couple of years. And then there's a guy, Gav Gibson, he was a natural pro, and I used to go to his gym, and I was like, I want you to prep me. So we done the first show, and I come second, close second. And I was like, okay. Then I went to that show. It was the MPA Southwest, and I won it, and I won the heavyweight, so I won my class. So what happens is you got all your classes, then all the class winners go into one overall, and then you get the overall champion. So then I won that. I won the heavyweight title. I won the best poser, and then I won the overall title. And to this day, it's still, I watch the video back of it, and I'm in disbelief. It's like, wow, like you really smashed that. Do you know what I mean? You really achieved something there. So it's an unreal feeling. Yeah,
that's it. Because it's so much dedication. Like, it takes, like you say, it's not just it's everything. It's your whole life.
It is.
When you are committed to it, you've got to put the work in all day, every day.
Yeah, you really do.
What were the biggest challenges leading up to, like, just in general bodybuilding leading up to a competition? What was your biggest challenges that you faced?
I think, so every prep had a different kind of challenge. I think my first season with Gav, like the one with the one where I came second with a coach from Australia, Carl, his name was, I feel like there was no expectation. I didn't know what to expect, so there was no pressure. Then when Gav prepped me that first season, I come second, then I won that show, and then I came second at the British finals. So it was like, wow, this is insane. The following year, there was a lot of pressure because I'd done so well the year before. Do you know what I mean? And there was like a lot of life situations that changed as well. So like I moved to Southampton, and then I worked at this gym, and then the gym got shut down. So I was like, right, I've moved here. I've got a job, I'm secure, everything's all right. Well, and then I remember I was doing my cardio in the morning, and these, I don't want to say too much, but like, these officers came in and was like, we need to close this premises. And I was like, can I just say, I do work here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not broke in to use the Stairmaster. So like losing my job, but I was really focused and I just wanted to do the best I could, so I didn't really think about it. And I was like, well, I've got enough money to sort of chill on for the time being, so I can just live as a bodybuilder. Just eat, sleep, train, repeat, you know. But I think one of the biggest problems is just like, it's your own head, like battling your own head.
Yeah.
Like, I will listen to my coach through and through, like, what you say, go. This is my plan, I'll stick to it. And I can hand on heart say, like, I stuck to it. But you battle yourself daily, like, questioning how you're looking. And there's check-ins where I've messaged him and I said, I'm sorry, I don't feel like I look very lean at the moment. I look back at it now and I'm like, you was peeled out of your brains, what are you on about?
Yeah.
So you can be your own worst enemy. And I think if you get into your head too much, that's when you can start doing silly things to try and ruin it, like try do more cardio or try eat less food.
Yeah.
To the point where you're not eating anything, you've maxed out, you've used all your eggs in your basket.
That's it. Did you start to learn that through your coach, and was that stuff that you worked on with him quite a lot?
To be honest with you, it was what I learned when I then prepped myself. So I'd done my own prep I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
Because with a coach, I was just like, I'm just going to listen to what you say, because ultimately, if I get on stage and I look rubbish, it's because of you. Because I'm going to do everything you say.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I kind of blindly just put my trust in him, which now looking back, I've learned a lot. Like I look at what I've done with him and was like, okay, maybe that was for this reason, but I wasn't learning at the time. I was just going with it. Whereas I probably should have spent a bit of time asking some more questions, you know, and saying like, okay, why are we doing this? What, you know, is, but I think one of the most difficult things as well, you've got to remember with bodybuilding is it's a luxury, right? It's like, you tell people that you're kind of actively, you're choosing to starve yourself essentially to show how much muscle you've got on stage. It's a pretty luxury position to be in.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like no one's forcing you to do it. So I never wanted anyone to feel sorry for me, but it is tough. It is very tough.
When it came to like those tough times, especially with the food and the nutrition, then as you say, it feels like you are kind of starving yourself. I think everyone gets it, don't they, where at some point you've got that craving and it's so hard to get rid of it. What's your biggest advice to anybody that's in that position? What did you do at that point?
I just remember that why I was doing it. And it sounds really corny to say, remember your why, but legit, like it's that thing, I've chosen to do this. No one's forcing me to do it. No one's saying you have to compete. There's not really much money in it either. So it's not like I'm doing it for a massive check at the end of it. So it's like I don't know, I'm the type of person, my own personal goals and what I want to achieve kind of supersedes everything. Like if I want to do something, I know why I want to do it, and that will keep me on track. It can be difficult, but you've really got to have a strong will for it. You know, I'm not going to say that it's not difficult, it's not hard. And like post show, I've had some binges and all sorts, and I've had some times in the prep where I have kind of just broke down and like when I lost the job, and eventually you sort of realise and you're like, I don't even know if I want to do this. I've got no energy, I got no food, and like we was on a very clean diet. It wasn't like go out and have a dirty cheat meal. Like, so I'd hear people complaining like, oh, my coach just told me I'm not allowed pizza. I'm like, pizza? I'm like, if I'm getting a refeed, I'm getting oats and jam. Do you know what I mean? It's like, So I think I was just my thing was I'm very tunnel vision, you know, and you know, even at the time, like, you know, when you're in relationships and stuff like that, they say about bodybuilding can affect relationships. It can, but it's all person dependent. Because I know some people, you know, that can go out and still enjoy themselves. Like my partner, she was able to go out when she did her prep. Like I couldn't do that personally, because for me, I just have to stay locked in. Might not be the best way to handle it, but for me, that's my way of controlling everything. That
was your way of doing it.
Yeah, but you know, so that is a bit difficult because you are missing out on social events. I've been to meals with people and I've had my own food, or I've eaten it before and then just sat there and not eaten, and it to the average person it is weird.
Yeah, you know? I think it's as well with like friends and stuff and like mates and everything. Like, did you lose friendships and stuff throughout the time that you was doing it? Nah,
I didn't lose friendships. I'm very fortunate. I've got really good friends who they've always known gym's my thing. And they know that like I missed going to Amsterdam twice because I was in prep both times, which now I'm like, I'm gutted. I would have loved to have done that. But then I don't regret the time I bodybuilded. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But for me, it's like I'm standing on this decision. Okay, I'm doing this for a reason. Yeah. And they're all cool with it. And then obviously it helps if you then win and you've got trophies and stuff. It kind of makes it worth it.
Definitely. You know? Someone getting into it then, what would be your biggest advice to them if there was a couple of pieces of advice to give, kind of based on what you've learned in your past?
First things first, you don't know everything. And there's, like, we didn't have this back in the day, like when I was younger, like there's so much information out there. But I feel like some people will see stuff and they automatically think they know it. oh yeah, well, I've actually had people say to me like, yeah, I know what a prep's like. My mates don't. But you don't. You've not been shredded where you've basically got like no fat in your heels and you're that exhausted. You walk up the stairs and that's it. You're out for like an hour. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've not been there. But do your research. Like I was saying, I didn't know that there were such things as natural federations. Yeah. Like, I speak to people all the time and I'll ask them like, you know, are you enhanced? You take PEDs, or are you natural? They say, I'm a natural. Then why are you trying to do an untested show for your first show? And a lot of people, they see the pictures on Instagram. Like, there's some federations that are obviously fantastic and they're like, oh, I want to compete with them. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, what is the purpose? If you actually want to achieve something and be against people in your realm, do that. Yeah. Obviously, if they're enhanced, it's different. You say, right, well, you do need to go down this road, but do your research first. Okay. You know, don't just pick things based on social media, even coaches. Yeah. Like, because someone markets themselves really well, you know, and puts funny videos and stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily mean they're a good coach. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then some people take the real no BS approach and they're like, I'm this kind of coach. It's like, okay, but that's how they might be painting themselves on Instagram. Yeah. You know, like, really do your diligence and do your research, because if you're going to commit yourself to it properly, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money, and it's got to be worth it. At that time in my life, it was worth it. It's what I wanted to achieve. Like I said, I wasn't really a sporty person. I haven't got trophies and all this of sports and stuff. So now I've got trophies that just sit in the spare room. Yeah. But that was enough for me. That's why I don't compete anymore, because I'm like, it doesn't serve me the same. I'm not going to get that. So you need to think what you're trying to get from this. Realize you're going to have to put a lot into it if you are all in, and then just make informed decisions from there.
When it came to the next step for you then, which was kind of post-show and the mental kind of health impacts really of dealing with that, how did you deal with it?
I'll be honest, mate, it was probably one of the toughest times. It was really difficult. I put on 20 kilos in 10 days.
Impressive.
Mate, I was in Germany with my best friend and my stomach was swollen so much I couldn't see my own belly button. Like, it was really difficult for me, I'm not going to lie, like, because I was so on it. And this is where I think people tell you to have a bit more balance, because then you don't crave as much when you come out. The fact of the matter is, your body's been in this controlled starvation. It's going to fight back. Yeah. And once you have achieved it and you've got to that final day, your body's then going to be like, cool, feed me, you know. The way that I handled it, it was very difficult. I was eating loads, I wouldn't stop. And then I think I got to a point where I was like, right, I kind of need to rein it in a little bit now. But then the first season, I tried to put myself into a cut. And I'm like, I've just done that for weeks on end. My body doesn't want to do this now, because I'm desperately just trying to undo what I've just undone, kind of thing.
I know what you mean.
But one thing also to remember is that look is not sustainable. It looks fantastic when it's on stage. And bodybuilding is about peaking for that moment. The amount of water you've had, the food, everything is about peaking for that moment. That's why so many things can go wrong. Stress, your bus gets cancelled, you're stuck in traffic, it's sweltering hot and your tan's running. Like, there's so many things. So you need to control everything that you can for that look on that day. That's not going to carry on for months. You can't stay looking like that. But also, like, just reach out to people if you are struggling. Like, one of the things that I noticed, like, I lost my libido. Right. Yeah. And I made a joke of it. It was like, it's like throwing spaghetti at a wall, because I had to just make a joke of it. Right. But I was really rattled by it. So I spoke to a guy, Rich Gazeki, he was like one of the best natural bodybuilders ever at one point. Like, Rich is a G. And I messaged him, spoke to a guy, Vince, at my gym, who's competed too. I was like, is this natural? And Vince, I love him. Really nice guy. He just started laughing. He was like, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, no, I'm not, bro. Like, what's going on? But I didn't. So then I'm dealing with that. And I imagine that as a man, you're like, hang on a minute, like,
yeah, that's one whole thing itself, isn't it? To be dealing with, never mind everything else.
Exactly. So, but speaking to people kind of made me feel better. And I remember me and a few guys I competed against, we actually had a little group chat. I won't say what the group chat was called, but we were just speaking to each other in there, you know. And like, I remember one day I sent a message and was like, boys, my soldier's back. Like, but it was like a little support group, you know. That's nice, yeah. So I would say, don't hide away and don't be ashamed if you are struggling. Like, you'll see some videos online with people like, oh, post-show's easy, you dieted for this long, why can't you just carry on? Well, not everybody can. Yeah. Like, I'm a comfort eater, even to this day. Like, I got some bad news the other day. My partner told me, went straight to the Ben & Jerry's. I got some Ben & Jerry's. And so, like, I'm not afraid to admit that I struggle. You know, it's okay. But I think, again, people feel shamed, and then you get some people that shame people for it, or say, oh, you shouldn't struggle, but everyone's different.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's journey is different, isn't it?
100%.
Everyone's going to deal with that situation the way they deal with it. How long did it take you to kind of finally get yourself back to feeling like yourself?
I think not the first time, but like the season where I won the show and stuff, my good season with Gav, I think probably took me about 8 months till I felt a bit more me. After the second season, with everything that had gone on and loads of other stuff, again, I think around the 6-month mark, and it was easier the second time around because it was like I kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah.
But I call it the punch in the face theory. Like, you can prepare for a punch in the face, but it's still a punch in the face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it still hit me post show, but it wasn't as bad. I think the other thing as well is your whole demeanor changes. You become miserable because you just got no energy. But I felt, because like when I prepped myself in 2021, so I wanted to prep other people. So I was like, well, I need to, teach myself and put myself through shows. So I had a roller coaster of a season. So I did an untested show to see how I do against them. Come 7th out of 14, which is great, but I wasn't happy with it. Then went to the BNBF Southern, won the heavyweight, won the overall. Then went to another show, came dead last to an untested show. Then I was like, I can't have that. Went to a natural show, won a couple classes in that.
Yeah.
Went to another show, messed that one up. And that was a natural show as well. And that was a chance to win a pro card. And I'd messed that show up, which was difficult to deal with because I'm just like this. When really I should have reached out to a coach to help. Then the final show I did, I ended up winning my class. And then I come like top 5 in the men's open. And I was like, I'm good here. Yeah,
that's kind of a good place for you to finish.
So the post show for that, because I dieted for like 44 weeks, I was done. Like I came out of it pretty easy, but my mood lifted after like 3 months and everyone was like, oh, you seem much happier. But I was like, I've been fine. I was like, no, you haven't, John. Like, you've been walking around like all the time, but you don't think it because you're just cracking on.
Yeah, exactly. When you come away from bodybuilding then, so talking a little bit about now, because I know you've got loads of things going on now as well.
Yeah.
What does your training look like now, and what's kind of next for you?
It's really difficult. Like, identity loss is a big thing with anyone, and I think I'll be honest with you, I've really struggled with like detaching from being classed as a bodybuilder. Like, I mean, I still eat like a bodybuilder. I still track my food every day. Like, I'm still because this is a lifestyle for me. I love it. It doesn't put me out. Like, I enjoy it. I still do enjoy bodybuilding training, but I just enjoy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was something that I was training for recently, which unfortunately I didn't get, but it made me do more functional work. I'm learning how to snatch, split jerk, and do other stuff, but it made me remember that I love training. And I think, especially for anyone that's getting into bodybuilding, you have to love training first. Because when you're bodybuilding, training becomes a chore.
Yeah.
You're training to get ready for that show, and then eventually you ain't got the energy, you can't be bothered, and you lose that love for it. Whereas I love training. Like, one of my best stints of training was actually lockdown. Yeah. Me and my resistance bands in my living room, mate, I had the best time ever. Honestly, it was great because I didn't have access to anything, and I was like, I've got a lot of muscle that I've got to keep up.
Yeah.
So my training now encompasses a lot more fitness, functional element. I still do my bodybuilding sessions. Like, I literally did chest 2 days ago. Like,
I was going to say, then what does that look like for your week now? Because I've seen that you've been doing a lot more cardio and a lot of things like that.
I love it, honestly, I love it. And I think because I work in residential care, so I work with young people and stuff, like, if you go to the park with young people, and like when I have kids, I don't want to be able to be like, oh no, I can't move, I did back day yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So so I'll do like push-pull legs, really. I've always been a bro split guy, so individual muscle parts, but I do push-pull legs 3 sessions. I then do a sort of functional power session where I'll do snatches, split jerks, lifting from the ground, movements like that. And then a all-out conditioning session where I'll just do cardio, batter the ski erg, sled pull, and just have fun. I'm not losing the fundamentals in my training, and I've worked my physique for years now, like over 15 years. I want to keep it, but you can still enjoy training and do other bits. And like, I'm the fittest I've ever been. I say strongest carefully. I'm not throwing up 60 kg dumbbells right now, but I also don't feel like I need to.
Yeah, that's it. There's not as much purpose to do that anymore, is there?
I don't need every single muscle to be developed and worked. Even though in the back of my head I still want that. I'm like, it's fine.
I suppose sometimes you got to let go of that a little bit. I suppose does that creep in once every while when you're lifting?
Always. And my chest session 2 days ago was a full-on bodybuilding chest, like bro chest workout. And I was like, I've not done this in a while. And I'm like, I can feel it. But even now, it still is hard to detach from it because, like I say, it was my identity for so long.
Definitely. When you go to like a gym, let's say you go to like a new gym, for example, and your background is bodybuilding, but it's cardio day, as in, it's sled pull day and all that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's quite tough not to like revert to that bodybuilding and kind of be like, a new environment where people don't.
Yeah, I think it depends what the gym is. Like, if I go to the gym and it's well equipped, I don't care, mate. I'll treat it like a playground and use everything. If I go to a gym where, say, it's cardio day, but they don't have much there, I'll look at what they have got and I'll adapt a bit. But even like we did that the other day, so we visited a gym. They had an open day over the weekend, and I just done like a bit of full body. I was like, why don't we just play on some of these machines?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas when I used to be in my strict routine, it's like, no, what you're doing today is what you're doing today. Like I've got a much more leniency now where if I go in and I think, even just when I done a back workout the other week, I'd done like 4 exercises, felt spent. And I was like, oh, I'll stop there. Let me just do a bit of ski yoke. But having that freedom to be, and that's not saying you can't have that freedom with bodybuilding, but I was so regimented.
Yeah.
It's nice to just not have to be like that with myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of your next moves then, see, I know you're kind of back in with your music and doing that side of things, which I've been looking at. Interested to hear a little bit about that, really, about what you're up to with that.
So I've always made music. Music's my biggest passion. I'll say next to training, it's my biggest passion. That's what my degree's in as well. So I started making music again a couple of years ago. I've been songwriting for about 10 years, but it's very niche. I make anime music. It's like anime, drill and rap music. So it's just so much good fun. Like last year, I performed all over the UK. I'm going to be performing in Cyprus this year. And it's just, it gives me that creative like release. I need it as a person. Like I've got, you know, suffer with like ADHD symptoms and stuff like this. Like I need a creative outlet, and it's cool as well because I make music that I like to train to.
Yeah.
So I'll be in the gym listening to the songs that I've made, and which sounds quite conceited, but also if I don't like the song, I'll know that I need to do better next time.
Yeah, it's like
what
perfect time, isn't it? Really, to be listening to your own songs.
Yeah, and it gives me inspiration because there's some days where, like the song I've just made literally this morning, is quite a high energy, forceful song. I know that's going to be perfect for cardio day. I know you're going to get me on that ski erg and I'm going to be going for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just really nice to be able to combine the both of them. Because like I grew up watching anime. I love anime now. And I think that's what inspired me to always want to get muscles. Like watching Dragon Ball Z, wanted to look like Goku, wanted to look like Vegeta. And then you see Broly coming. I don't know if you know anime, but Broly's massive. And I think,
do you remember the bit of Dragon Ball Z?
I love it. Do you know what I mean? And they're the kind of characters that inspired me, you know. And so it's nice to just like mold them, but also show other people, because not everybody that watches anime necessarily is into the gym. Yeah. So it's like, well, actually, there's a way of combining them both, you know.
What do you have coming up next then in terms of like events that you're going to, that you're performing at and stuff? So
I've got a show in Derby in July. I've got London and Birmingham in August, and then Comic-Con Cyprus in October, which is going to be amazing. Nice. I'm really looking forward to that. And then alongside that, I've got a few things that I want to work on fitness-wise. I'm considering doing a high rocks competition and a CrossFit one, just to try it.
Yeah, why not?
Do you know what I mean? And ironically, I wouldn't say to people, don't ever take that kind of approach to bodybuilding of, I just want to try it because it's going to take a lot out of you. I'm under no impression that high rocks or CrossFit competitions are easy, but I want to do something with this body, you know, and I can still move it well, so I want to. So, music-wise, I've got that going on, which is really cool. And I'm just hoping to tie it in with a lot of fitness stuff I'm doing as well.
Where can people kind of find you? What's the best platform for you for people to find you?
Probably Instagram. Yeah. I'm on Instagram at John Fox 2_. I post fitness stuff on there, music stuff on there. I've got YouTube and a TikTok as well. It's JFX Music. That's my artist name, JFX, like John Fox. Yeah. So you can find stuff on there. Spotify, YouTube, all of the streaming platforms my music's on. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the best place to find me.
Right, thanks very much. Thanks for your time. That was really good. Interesting to listen to a bit more around bodybuilding as well. And good luck, obviously, with all your music and everything you're doing with that. Sounds interesting.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.